Welcome back to this week's The Weekly Edit. Now this week, we're actually diving into the bathroom. I'll just get dressed. I've just been up there doing mine in order to do this video for you and to give you some tips on what you can do about editing, decluttering bathroom products that you own. Bathrooms can just creep, can't they? I mean, it's something that most of us use every day, I would expect, in your own home anyway. Now, whether it's a shared space or whether it's your own, you can quickly get into a little bit of chaos in bathrooms. I really do think how a bathroom functions can really affect the start of your day. Obviously the close of your day as well. Now, I envy if you have the luxury of a bathroom all to yourself. Really would be one of my dreams, just me. However, I share a bathroom, so therefore I really have to think about the systems, the touch points, and how sometimes I simply don't want to see other people's items. It's a combination of multiple things that we need to do, and I think by having very clear systems and boundaries yourself, you can detune to other people's possessions sometimes, or the debris particularly that they might leave. And I think that's a thing to really start to hone in on a little bit as you start to look at any area, but today we're doing bathrooms. Now, if it's your own bathroom, well, you have entire flexibility. However, in essence, the system still exists between shared or solo bathrooms. You want to reduce as much friction as possible. You want ease of access, and you want touch points that are really very, very simple and ultimately organized. Now, it's not about being Pinterest perfect here. It's about touch points that you can access and use on a very consistent basis. Now, I'd really like you to think about your routine before you start doing anything. How do you like to get ready each day? How do you like to use your bathrooms and the items in it? Or how do you like to wind down at the end of the day? Those questions will also help you when you go to edit, but most importantly, how you are going to store what often is exceptionally limited and very valuable, what I would call real estate, but those storage areas. Now, why do bathrooms stop working for us? Often the space is relatively small, I find anyway. Storage is often limited, and particularly if you're sharing bathrooms and growing families and all the rest of it. I mean, I don't know what your nighttime routine looks like, but sometimes people suggest to me literally about 7 different products. Now, that's a fair few containers, isn't it? Let alone all the other things that we need day to day. So bathrooms can stop working because categories can get mixed up. So when I say categories, we're talking about like different products. So whether it's a bit of hair care mixed in with some makeup, mixed in with some cleanser, mixed in with even say tablets, supplements, and for me, HRT. One other considerable problem is backups, multiples, and those items that maybe you've tried, you're not really a fan of, didn't really work for you, but they're still there. Any of those ringing a bell? So when categories are all mixed, products are all mixed up, we lose visibility, you lose sight, and you just look into a drawer and it's a blur of everything. Now we know what it's like. If you can't find it, what is the possibility that you're then going to order another one or take it from some back stock, replace it, go traveling, start ending up with odds and sods? We've all been there. Now, coming up, let me show you some videos of my bathroom. What we're going to do is we're going to, as we always do, remove everything. This is just my drawer that I'm doing. There are other drawers in here, but just for purposes of this video and so that you can see my touch points, my sort of process, I'll show you what I do. And then this is the organized edit way. So thanks for joining this week's weekly edit. Thanks for giving me suggestions of what you want to deep dive into. I'm really enjoying this and I hope you are too. Any feedback is brilliant. I always appreciate it. Now, don't do this. Don't just pick one item, put it back, look at another, look at this one, look at that one, get distracted. it's not a good idea. We just waste way too much time. However, I can get myself ready, hair back maybe, if I feel like it, and then start going through. Okay, now I'm just wasting some time here, reacquainting myself with what is actually in this drawer. And that's okay. Reacquaint yourself. Okay, let's get cracking. We are going to edit by category. It's the classic organized edit approach. We're going to take everything out of the drawer or the cupboard, and you're going to group each item. I've put a towel down on the ground. It just saves anything that you want to tip out that's going to spill, just clean it up at the end. So put everything out. Have a think about your categories, whether it's morning routine, evening routine, hair care, dental, occasional or backup items. Now, I want you to start to be honest here once you've grouped them all together. Would you buy it again? It's really worth questioning this, because does it deserve space in your bathroom or in your life? Prep the area, clean any storage items that you've got. Now, it's not essential containers, but they do really help. This space is really valuable. You want to save time ultimately, but you also want to enjoy all of these moments and the touch points. So as you're going through your possessions, really look at them. What are you using? What's relevant? What's not relevant? There really are things that we keep that just don't work for us. Here I am actually debating some estrogen patches that I'm not really sure why I've even kept ones that I simply don't like. So they're off in a pile for someone else. So what are you really going to give this valuable space to? Sometimes you can think of your bathroom like a kitchen, right? The most used items deserve the easiest access. Would you agree? Morning routines, for instance, together, quick to reach. Do you need one thing to prompt another thing? I certainly do. Evening routines can be calm, intentional. I've even got to decide on where my masks live because I have not used them, and I've got 3 here. So 2 are leaving, going to backstock. 1 will stay there. That's all I need to use. Now, it's really, really okay to let go of items that you just no longer use. You have to get past the cost of anything that you may have spent historically. There are methods of disposal. They're beauty banks, mostly that will only want to take items that are full, that have never been opened. However, there are also places that are willing to take partially used items, and any sort of the free cycle pages are a perfect place to put this, because others, you're not going to give them to them in a filthy state. Other people do want to try products, and this is a nice way to be able to do that. Now I'm going to throw in testing some of your flexibility and mobility. Yep, I'm up, down very, very often in my job. But more importantly, how is this space going to work? How am I going to store things? Looking at containers. Oh, it can be tricky when you've got a whole volume of things. How do you put them back in? It can be a jigsaw puzzle. It can be frustrating. Anyway, look at it. It's a blank canvas. It's the perfect opportunity. And I'm doing that today. My glasses, they're a daily thing. Yep, they could go back in first, but I'm always going to reach for them. So, standing up, looking at it according to how I would actually use it. That's a really good aspect. Look at it and then decide what's in next. I'm pretending here that this is like your possessions. I've never seen them, and I'm working out what order it would be. It can feel like Jenga, the jigsaw puzzle. Now, what I'm showing you here is the annoyance and irritation of using a drawer, and you can't always store things how you would like. Personally, I love a drawer, but I also love a cupboard. Drawers mean you can see everything, but they can make storage slightly trickier because you've got a different level of depth to play with, and can be irritating. Containers, completely variable as well. Some of the containers that I've previously used, I'm going to use again because they're like for like, and I know the depth of them. They work for me. I don't need to change that up now. Choosing storage containers can take time, but let me please always recommend work out what it is that you want to store first before you go out and invest in anything. If you have any form of container, box, small area that can create an imprint of an area, then use it, test it, depth, size, scale. You need these moments of time and thought process to get the solution perfect if you're doing it yourself. It can totally feel like a bit of a jigsaw puzzle and moving parts, especially when you are creating dividers for your products that come in all different shapes and sizes. I mean, one minute you've got something like that, the next minute you've got something like that, then you've got something like that, then you might have random boxes, and you've got to contain all of it. So just jiggle. When things are functional, when they're clear, it makes everything so much easier. So spend time looking at this system. That's what I do with my clients, really going through, looking at touch points. Now go rejig, organize it, but remember to keep checking in. Is it working? Is it not? Move things around. It's not always a one and done. More things come into our home. We've got multiples. We've got other storage areas. This is mine. You can see it another day. Once your system is set up, maintenance should be easy. You can just sort of have a clean over it, maybe sort of once a month, once every quarter, but get that system working for you. I'm super tired recording this really late, but I hope that you've got lots of great info from that. So thank you for joining me for this week's weekly edit. Let me know what you find in your bathroom products that has been there for a while. As always, hugest thank you for your time. I don't know if you watched it on fast forward or multiple speed. That's what I tend to do just to get through things. Anyway, I love feedback. I love comments. So if you've got any, drop them for me below.